Hello, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. We're so excited to be here. I'm Dr. Mindy Njimo with Homeschool Moms Academy, and we are super excited to talk about a subject today that really impacts our lives daily. Welcome to my co-host, Stan Dietrich. Stan, introduce yourself this morning and let's get rolling.
I'm Stanley Dietrich, and you're going to get to know me if you turn this on. And I appreciate you being here. You're going to get to know me. So let's get right into this because this is really good stuff.
Good stuff. All right, Stan. I think one of the first things we should do is just talk about our personalities. Last time I gave a brief overview of kind of the children's test that I deliver on personalities, and it's very similar to a lot of the tests that you see that out there. I'm just going to recap that real quick, and let's talk about what you are, and I'll talk about what I am. Just because one of the things that's best for us as we know the personality of those around us, it's super helpful in your interaction. So real quick, the lion personality is the bold, dominant, the one who likes to take charge, the one who likes to make sure everybody's safe. They're typically a corporate CEO. They are the leader in the room. The next personality is the horse personality. This personality is the one who's vivacious, energetic, the life of the party, the one who is always maybe talks a lot, just always vivacious. The cup is always full. That's like, the Chicken Little story where like this guy, she's preparing like the basket is always full for the horse. And then there's the elephant personality, which is the logical, methodical, down to earth, just very kind, compassionate, but always helping, but just very detail oriented, all just sure to do the details. And then finally, the last personality is the lamb. The lamb is, I want to save the world. I want to help and serve all those around me. They're usually nurses, Mother Teresa, just those who want to give their lives away to serve other people, to make everything around us a much better place. So I'll start with me. So I know I am the horse personality. So usually I was a teacher for a long time. I showed up in the classroom every day, excited. The cup is always full for me. Like I always have, if someone's saying something negative, I always try to spin that into a positive. So that's my dominant one. I do want to say that each of these personality types, you might have a little bit within you for each one of those. So let's hear from you. What are you thinking?
Well, I want to say that I'm the lion in the room, and I will roar, but I take that leadership role completely, and I am an observer. So I come in like a lamb and I exit like a lion. And the reason that I come in like a lamb is because I want to observe. I want to know the other personality types. I want to know who's going to be on my team and who's going to be more of the one that is going to challenge. And when I say challenge, it's not an obnoxious challenge. It's a one that is doing the methodical kind of look. Because I want to go in there and I want to take that charge. But there's also that appreciation for the one that does analytical side. So there's an analytical side about me as well. So yeah, having multiple, and I don't want to say personality, but I want to say having multiple strengths and appreciating that. And I don't want to get ahead of myself, but there's a famous quote that I want to bring up that we don't know really who said it. It's attributed to someone. I'm just planting a seed for later. So.
All right. Awesome. Well, let's not forget the seed for later. So that's awesome. So, I also want to say that in my family, I've had everyone take this personality test, simply because it is helpful to know who the leader in the room is or who can take charge to get things done, who the empathetic one is. One time I worked for a university. I never had an individual work for me who was empathetic. And that particular year, I had a lady who worked for me, and I realized she was a very strong lamb, empathetic, always looking out for others. And that's a whole different mindset shift than the leader trying to get that done. Also, from a perspective of a mom and a child, if you have a child who's a lion and a mom who's a lamb, who's just trying to serve her family, make things better, and you have this child roaring, trying to take charge and lead the family, that leads to a whole different dynamic set and can be exhausting for the mom. Have you ever run into any situation like that and
Oh
how
my
to?
gosh, just the dynamic of family that, you
Yeah,
have 14 personalities in a family of four. So, it's like trying to agree where we're going to go eat. And
right.
when you ask where they want to go eat, they say, I don't know. And then you mention something and it's no, I don't want to go there. But just a moment before they didn't know, right? So
Right.
it's having those personalities, and it's also in that personality type or proclivity that you appreciate your own strength, and understanding that your personality type or your strength type
Yeah.
has some uniqueness to it, and it's the opportunity to embrace that uniqueness, because we
Yeah.
can't all be the same. That would be a very boring. I mean, imagine if we all just wanted to eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and pizza every
Yeah.
day for the rest of our life. That would be very, very boring.
Yes. So true. So true. Also, I think knowing that, so my husband, he is the elephant, very detail oriented. He notices things that I never even notice. So just having someone walk beside you who's living in a different world of detail and noticing those things, really is very interesting, in my opinion, because I'm not the detail oriented type, but he is. So when you walk in partnership, it almost adds in strength to who you are and how you're viewing and operating, in your system.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So let's talk about then what would the most complementary types for each other. If you've got a strong leader, a lion in the room, um, complementary to that would be, I think, any type. But I'd love to hear what you think. Like, what if you were a lion, knew your strength as a lion? Which personality type would you have to say would fit best with you? Me personally, I like the partnering with the lion because you can get things done, take charge. Here we go. What do you think?
Wow. It is having an equal mix, but it's also having someone that is stronger in one area. And so, as a lion, I might say it would be probably the lamb for me, if I had to choose, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
because I need that softness, that kind of empath, even more so, because you can get into that mindset that you're
yeah,
just going in and you're just leading, and you need somebody to pull the reins back.
yeah,
I do a lot of analyzing as well, so I'm a people watcher.
yeah,
So I love to watch people, and I love to imagine what's going on in their mind. So I have I want to say a healthy mix, but it's probably stronger as the lion, because once I own something, I take
yeah,
real ownership of it, and I don't back off from that.
yeah, yeah,
So you've got to have that.
yeah. I love that you say that. And that actually does complement your strength because it brings out the empathetic piece while you're also trying to lead and make giant steps forward. That empathetic partnership would be crucial to help you see all aspects of it. So I
Exactly.
Yeah, love that. That's awesome. So, as we're like learning who we are and our strengths, also know that each personality type has weaknesses. For example, for my personality, I know that I am high energy, like living life to the large. Um, but also, I know that my personality carries the inability to finish tasks. One of the things that horses, this personality type, struggles with is actually completing the goal. So, knowing that about myself, then that allows me to understand what I need to do to gather a group around myself or to make sure I have accountability in place to get things done, knowing that I can start a lot of things, but I might not finish a lot of things. So
Right.
just understanding that. So how does it make achieving your goals or getting things done daily, how does that contribute to your success in just being able to churn away?
Well, I think the more that we know ourselves, the more empowered we are. So
Yeah.
that's what this is about. This is about empowering not just moms, but moms. We're going to focus on moms. And obviously, most people know that I'm not a mom. Okay, I was a dad. And the idea behind that is that as we appreciate our strengths, then we're able to channel those strengths in a certain direction. And when we know ourselves better, then we can know the world better. But if we try to compare ourselves, or we try to, let's say you're trying to push a boulder up a hill, okay, that's not going to work very comfortably, nor is it going to be very efficient. Now, push that same boulder down a hill. Now, this is the power of knowing who you are, and this is the power of taking multiple personal strength assessments or tests,
Yeah.
or because the more that you know yourself,
Yeah.
then the more able you become to, first off, heal thyself, and then heal those that are around us, and appreciate ourselves first, and then appreciate others. And we keep it in that order. And it's not an egotistical method. It is if we only appreciate others for their strength, we'll never see our greatness or our genius that's within.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. That's great. Yeah. Awesome. And not only that, but I think, our whole lives are around people. Like we are constantly interacting, whether it's at work, within our family. And, there can be a lot of conflict dynamic within those families if you truly don't understand that innate that innate core of who they are. That's just who they are. You're not changing that.
Right.
Regardless if they're detail oriented, an elephant and logistically thinking through things, you're not changing that. It's not going to change. So that person operates that way just inherently. So then to realize, oh, this is just how this person is operating, and then take that and use it as a positive for the relationship, whether it's a work relationship, a family relationship. One time I had a child who, I still have the child, not one time. But I realized one of my boys was just very, very little. He was just could barely he was just like 2 or 3 years old. And I realized I was folding clothes one day and I saw him start folding clothes, and he like folded at 3 years old, he was folding clothes so detailed. And I was like, oh my gosh, like let me put him in charge of clothes folding, because that detail orientedness just really like made everybody super happy with the way he was folding clothes. So just using that strength every day to and it made him happy too, right? Because he's doing what he loves, what he inherently does. So finding those places in your family environment is super important. Did you get, you're laughing, so you had some.
I am trying to contain myself. Okay, so I had a girlfriend one time, and I was folding my laundry, and I was folding towels, and so she decided that she was going to help me fold the towels, and she was folding like I have rag towels. Rag towels are for like I throw in my
Yeah,
car when I get in, if I if I'm going to go cut wood or whatnot, so I don't get anything on the seat. Anyway, she folded a couple towels, and they weren't lined up, and I'm like, okay, I unfolded them and I refolded them, and she looked at me and she goes, "Did you just refold those towels?" And I go, "I did." She goes, "Why? They're not even your good towels." I said, "How you do anything is how you do everything."
yeah,
And that was I mean, and this has been several years back. And she just laughed. But I didn't even think about it, because that's what a leader, when you know your strengths and you have this courage, you don't worry about not performing the way that you were designed. So if
yeah,
it's laughter, if it's being methodical, don't make excuses for your greatness. These are
yeah,
your strengths. And the thing about it is that taking a personality test, a personality assessment, helps us to appreciate and also to um, de-indoctrinate our brain.
yeah,
Because we go to school and the teachers or the principals or the other parents, they tell us, I don't know if they do it anymore, and you would know this better, but we used to do these tests where we would do ambidextrous, and then we do
yeah,
thinking, and then they'd say, well, I think you're going to be a loser with the ability to work in a factory, and you'll never amount to anything. I mean, that's
yeah,
essentially what they were saying. And then they would tell other people, "Oh my gosh, you're going to be a magician, and you're going to make rabbits come out of hats. And you're thinking, how come Joey gets to be the magician and I get to be, whatever?
right, right,
I'm
right.
pushing a broom on the street. I'm going to end up homeless." And we get this mind indoctrination, this mind impression that that's what we're doing based on, I don't know who the guy was or who the gal was that came together and put this test together and
Yeah,
determined how good I was with my hands, that I should work in a factory. No, they just needed factory workers. I think that they were in cahoots with the, so I won't get on my soapbox there, but it's it's taking the time for ourselves
yeah,
and learn to appreciate, and you go, wow. And sometimes we're looking for other people to validate us,
yeah,
and that's one simple way that take multiple of these, and it depends on the mood that you're in as well. If you wake up on this wrong side of your head, not the wrong side of your bed, you might
right.
think today sucks, I'm not going to have anything done, there's 15 loads of laundry, I got to make meals, oh, Joey's got to get to school, I'm late again. And once we get on the wrong side of our head, and now we
Yeah,
take one of those personality tests, we start looking for everything that's not going right
yeah,
instead of everything that is going right. So I want to encourage people, know yourself, build your strength, build your confidence. And that's what knowing yourself does. It builds confidence and brings you into a room that you own.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's so powerful because hold on, I get a sneeze. But when we took the Strengths Finders test, that was a whole shift for me and dynamic. It is focus on your strengths or realize your weaknesses. Like I know my strengths, organizing, being in a room full of people, being able to command that, but yet realizing my weaknesses are, okay, I'm going to start something super vivaciously, but I'm not actually going to bring that to full fruition. And then being able to, knowing that about yourself, being able to make decisions or make plans to include people around you to help you get to the finish line. So
Mhm.
if you know, just like you're a leader, you need that empathetic mindset. So pulling people around you to help you see that is super important. Um,
Exactly.
yeah, I love that. Know yourself and then also know the individuals around you that are living closely, or find out who the individuals are that can come around you to help you drive forward with the vision that you want to achieve. So I have another example. So IV therapy is the thing today. So my husband and I were sick, so we had a nurse come to the house, and she was doing some IV work for us to help us heal. And so in that, I noticed that her strength was empathy. She was a nurse, she was empathetic, she was a lamb, but yet she was trying to be a business owner, which is the exact opposite of what her personality drives her to be. And I asked her, I said, how did you go from being this empathetic lamb, and I just described the personality types to her, to operating this successful business? She
Yep.
said it was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Like, I had to figure it out. I had to push forward. I had to move out of my comfort zone. And I have to say, everyone should do that at least quarterly. Is She said I had to move out of my comfort zone and really drive into what I wanted to achieve. And so, pushing yourself beyond your limits, I think, is crucial to growth and development.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm all about that. Getting out of the comfort zone. And, a seed doesn't produce anything while it stays a seed. It has to break the outer shell so that it can produce more. And that is it. Pushing the boundaries, and it's pushing that boulder down the hill,
Yeah.
but it still needs that push to get some momentum. And the more that you know about who you are and what drives you and what your proclivities are, what you are drawn to naturally, and this is it. What are your natural strengths
Yes.
and your natural talents? And then understand that your talents will only take you so far. And this is what I would tell my son all the time. This is why you need a coach, because a
Yeah.
coach will help you go
Right.
further,
Yes.
faster.
Yes.
And you can only get so far on your own natural talent, and your abilities will only take you so far. You need that guidance. You need that group of people. But when you know what you do, then that's super, super key.
Yeah, I love that, because it does take someone looking at you to
Yeah,
say, oh, here's building a trust level. Like, there's some people I have a lot of trust with in my life. They could say anything to me and I would respond to it, right? So establishing a trust level with someone who can speak into your life, who sees
exactly.
things, but then helps you so that you can move forward. Definitely. Also, I think just being able to observe. So when I was a teacher, I had a principal and he every 3 months he would do something he had never done before. He would
Mhm.
learn a new language. He took karate. He took taekwondo. He took, like, whatever it was. Like, he was constantly pushing that boundary in his life to do something different, to shift, to really propel himself into something a little bit stronger, better for his own life. So just watching people, sometimes you say you're a people watcher, also can just help you move out into something different.
You mentioned something earlier, and the idea that there are many people that they've been shaped to go in a certain direction. So
Yeah.
we know this with a lot of kids that are doctors and
Yeah.
lawyers, and they go into the medical field or they go into another field because they've been shaped that way, and they hate it.
Yeah.
And it is because they're not filling the role that brings them fulfillment. So, the idea behind achievement and having success without fulfillment is really a failure.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when we look at these people that are multimillionaires and they've taken their life, why? Because there's a lack of fulfillment. They've achieved a lot of things,
Yeah.
but did they really go for the thing that they really, really wanted?
Yeah.
And understanding and having the appreciation for ourselves and knowing what our strengths are, we can make money. You can make money. You cannot make time.
Yeah.
So you can make money doing anything. What better way to know your strength, to build that confidence, to know who you really are, what you really enjoy doing, and pursue that rather than pursuing money, which changes its value all the time, and build on the value of who you are and the gift that you bring. That is magic. That is real magic right there.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I want to speak to that. So when I was in Africa, I did my dissertation in Africa. And one of the things that I realized about most of the teachers there that I was interviewing and other individuals is that their parents told them what they were going to
Right.
be. And we're talking right now, today. Um, they were, my mom and dad said I would be a teacher. It would give me a good life. My mom and dad said, I personally want to be an airline pilot, they would say. But my mom and dad told me I had to do this. And you saw a lot of young children running away because their parents told them what they were going to do. So, super huge shift. Again, understanding as a parent who your child is, but allowing that purpose and passion to come out of them so that they can move into a path that they feel a calling towards is huge. And then developing their strengths, help them develop towards that is the core of where we should be going with individualization, personalization of curriculum based on purpose, passion, and personality. So, all right, we got to hear your quote. I want to come back to your quote, and then we're going to wrap it up for today.
And I'm going to give the quote, and I think this would be great to come back to this conversation. And we're going to be meeting here regularly now on Tuesday morning, so adjust your schedule. But here's the quote. And whether or not Einstein actually said it is not the key point. So you can go to the internet and you can type in this quote, and you'll get a variety of people that say Einstein never said this. Here's my take on that. It doesn't matter. Okay. It doesn't matter who said it. Give credit where you ever want to give credit to. Say your son said it. Okay. But he says that everybody is a genius. Now, whether or not you've been told you're a genius or not, if they told you you weren't, just say next. Okay. So he says everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing it's stupid. Now, I really want to go into this deep. So we're going to pick back up on this next week. I really want to cover this. The idea is it's who are we letting judge us?
Yeah.
So if we're judging the fish, then the fish just says, you're dumb. I'm not. I'm in the water. I'm a fish. But if we judge a fish, or if the fish judges itself by its inability to climb a tree, then it might think it's stupid.
Yeah.
But for us to judge a fish, and this is what happens, we allow the outside world to dictate or to determine what it is that we're going to become. So really, that is a great seed.
Yeah.
For next week. And I think we take that and run a little bit deeper on that and go a little bit deeper into the personality, strengths and understanding and appreciation for ourselves and having gratitude for ourselves. It's going to make all the difference in all of our relationships. So I'm going to end that right there and leave you hang on that. You're hanging on that cliff.
Yeah, awesome. Such a fun subject. Yep. So let's dive in deeper next week. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you again next week. Take care.
Have a great week.